Why should voiceover talent create a podcast? There are like a billion out there. In this video, I'm going to play a short clip from the new episode 84 Atlanta Voiceover Studio podcast where Heidi interviewed Caroline Slaughter and DONTAE HODGE. Then I'm going to come back and quickly let you know the topics that they cover in the full audio podcast. But here's Heidi asking DONTAE about equipment, and as voiceover talent, we know about equipment. Can you use what you got? Here they are.
What's the most efficient setup if they want to do a podcast? Is it just using their own booth and interviewing people virtually, or could they set up something outside of their booth, or what would you suggest?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So I would say it depends, right? It's kind of a loaded question because it depends on what you're going for, right? Of course, it depends on the aesthetic you want. You know, do you want it to kind of have a cool background, right? In that case, you might want to rent a studio, which I know we'll talk about at some point. But I would say the good thing about being a voiceover artist is you already have a lot of the tools, right? So that's the great part. You already have a lot of the tools that you need, which is awesome. So that's a great starting place. You probably already have a great mic that you use, a great audio interface, a great space to record in. So definitely take advantage of those tools and then figure out, because what I've learned is people typically get stuck at like the recording or the editing of a podcast specifically. So I would say figure out how you can easily record and easily edit that podcast. And there are some tools. So I actually have a few props with me.
Okay.
This is a Rodecaster Pro.
Yes.
So this makes it really easy to record a podcast. You just plug your mics in, you could cue sound effects or intro, outro music, and it kind of records it all to a 2-track. So this could get you set up to where you don't even have to edit the podcast. There are settings on here for different microphones. So this kind of gives you a head start. And then if you don't have a budget for that, there is this one, right? So this is a Zoom pod track. This one is 4 mics in. There are sound pads and you can do kind of the same thing. So again, this will get you like 90% there without having to do a whole bunch of editing. And the recording aspect is really simple because if we're talking about a DAW, I mean, some voiceover artists might be familiar, but depending on the voiceover artist, you might not be, right? So this really simplifies the process.
That's just a quick tease, and the whole podcast is great as Caroline and DONTAE talk about podcasting for voice actors. If you don't know who Caroline Slaughter is, she's an award-winning filmmaker, podcaster, writer, director, and voice actor. And most recently, she wrote and directed Tom Slick, Mystery Hunter, starring Owen Wilson, Sissy Spacek, and Skylar Fisk, with script collaboration from Jeb Stewart of Die Hard and Vikings Valhalla fame. Her iHeart podcast, Astray, debuted in the top 15 podcasts nationally, so she kind of knows what she's talking about. It is being developed into a documentary feature with Scout Productions and adapted by School of Humans into a scripted series written by Caroline. DONTAE is an Emmy-nominated audio engineer and music producer. He's received multiple Audie Awards and even an Emmy nomination for some of his work. From designing immersive soundscapes for podcasts to engineering live productions and scoring music, his passion is storytelling through sound. In the whole podcast episode, they cover the journey of the Tom Slick podcast, finding your voice through podcasting, what you can gain from podcasting as a voice actor, tool for streamlining the process, most efficient podcast setup for voice actors, podcast recording studios, best audio levels for podcasts, biggest audio mistakes in podcasting, how to prep the guests audio-wise, where to find sound effects and music for podcasts, and a whole lot more. So check out the AVS podcast wherever you like to listen. I'll link it all in the notes. Next week on the channel, if you're into video games, we're going to cover a great video game audition tip. Till then, Atlanta Voiceover Studio and ProVoiceOverTraining.com are here to equip, elevate, and inspire you in your voiceover journey, giving you the tools and resources you need to create the career you want. Remember, you're building a voiceover business. Think outside the box. Cheers to your success.